All right, we're going to be doing something called the discriminant. The discriminant of quadratic equations. This is 10.7. Before we start, gentlemen, what's a quadratic equation?
X is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4 all over 2a.
That is the quadratic formula.
Dang it.
All right? So the quadratic formula is used with...
b squared minus 4ac.
B squared minus 4ac is part of the quadratic formula. We're going to talk about that, and that actually has something to do with the discriminant. But what kind of equation... That is all. But what kind of equations do we... When you pulled out... You pulled out the a, b, and c from a quadratic equation. What did it look like? You had an x squared.
Oh, like x squared minus 4x.
Plus 4x plus 12 equals 0. Which part of that was a up there? What was a?
1.
1. What's b?
4.
4. And c is?
12.
Careful. Negative 12. Okay, and you used that one when you were plugging into the quadratic formula, correct? Today, we're going to use what's called the discriminant to be able to tell some stuff about that quadratic equation, okay? Let's get started. Here's a review. Get out your whiteboard. Get on your marks. Get set. Actually, I think you're going to get out your calculators. And get out your calculators, I should have said. Get out your calculators. Here we go. I want you to graph on your calculator that graph. Ready? Go. Mine looked like that one. Is that what yours looks like?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's graph another one. Graph that. Graph again. I want you x. I don't want 2 on one graph. I want only one graph. So change the one you had before to x squared plus 4x plus 4. These are not linear equations, by the way. These are quadratic equations, and they graph parabolas. All right. Let me see your graphs. Yes, yes, and yes. Does yours look like this one that's coming up?
Why is it so pointy?
So it's only pointy, I think, because it's got a little number at the bottom down here. This 2 at the bottom, and so that's what makes it look that way. Because it makes it looks that way. All right, we have one more. Are you ready? One more. Graph this one. Oh, that's a squared, by the way. That's an x squared. That's an x squared. X squared, I just didn't make it go up there. X squared plus 3x plus 3. You're getting practice using your graphing calculators. Right? Here we go. Are you ready? This is what yours should look like. Yours should look like this one, correct? Same shape. What's the difference in this one? They have the same shape. They all kind of smile like they're going up and up and up.
Make it as pointy as possible.
And did I change did I change its pointiness at all? What did I change about the graph?
How big it is?
What do you mean by big?
Numbers got small.
How long?
How long it is, okay? What else did I change? Right here, I am naming this. You need to know this. This is not review. This is actually when we're reviewing and moving forward so you understand this. I'm going to name this the vertex. Are you with me real quick?
Yeah.
All right, that's called the vertex. Tell me how it changed in those graphs.
I got a line.
Got lower or higher?
Got lower or higher. Very good. Okay, so here we go. I'm coming to this page. Now we're going to talk about something called the discriminant. Look up here, everyone. Look up. I've got the discriminant written at the bottom. Have we seen this before?
Yes.
We warmed up with that this morning, and we've been warming up with it a couple days. All right, so the question I'm going to have, where do they cross the x-axis? And the first one we graphed, how many times does it cross the x-axis?
Twice.
2 times. One there and one there. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the next one? How many times does it cross the x-axis?
0.
How many times?
Once.
1 time right there, correct? It crosses the y-axis 1 time right there. Last one. How many times does this one cross the x-axis?
None.
0.
All right, so what are my possibilities for crossing? 2,
1, or 0.
2, 1, or 0. Did we talk about this earlier today?
Yeah.
We did. We talked about that when we were talking about our discriminant, right? We did our discriminant when we did our warm-up, and we got 1 answer, 2 answers, or 1 answer. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. That's a cubic equation. It's a third. It's got a highest of 3rd degree. Get your note sheets out. We're going to do some discriminant. I think you're going to find this really easy. You needed this. You needed your graphing calculator just so you could kind of see some application for this. We're going to be discriminating. That is exactly.
Yes.
Actually, we are going to be discriminating. That is actually a very. It's just the word discriminant has a very. The word discriminate has a bad connotation in our culture because we think of the word discriminate meaning that certain people are getting this. But the word to discriminate just means I am making a choice between two different things. I am going to discern two different things. If I'm going to discriminate against people, that's bad. But if I am going to just make a discrimination as in I'm going to discern between two different things, then this is going to help us discern. Are you ready? You're going to fill in the blank. You got some blanks that you can put at the end of each of those sentences. Here we go. If.
Wait, what about the top?
Here we go.
B
squared minus 4ac is the discriminant. The discriminant. It's going to help you make decisions about quadratics or how many solutions that you're going to have. If your discriminant, or if b squared minus 4ac is positive, then there are two solutions. Two solutions. There's your answer there for the first one. Raise your hand when you're finished writing the words two solutions. If b squared minus 4ac is negative, I will have no or zero. And we should be really real solutions, but they will have some imaginary ones later in life. But right now you'll have no real solutions. This is the number of real solutions that we have. No real solutions.
Wait, so for this lesson, are we just putting it in the calculator graph and just...
Actually, no. This is what you're going to do. Are you ready? Let's go to the next slide here.
That would have been nice.
I think you could still do that.
We're going to do the discriminant.
Wait.
And you are going to use that thing you just put there for number 1. All right, so in this one, what's A?
2.
Careful.
Negative
B,
8.
C.
Negative 8.
All right, that's like me rolling the dice. Remember that I rolled the dice this morning when we did our warm-up? And now you just plug it into b squared minus 4ac. Get an answer. This was where you can put it in your calculator right now if you want to type in 64 minus 4 times 2 times 8.
It's 0.
Equals 0. All right.
Whoa.
I agree. It is 0. Is that true? Did you guys get 0?
Sure.
All right. Look at the answer key at the top. If you got 0, how many solutions?
1.
1 solution. The answer is 1 solution.
I put it into...
Oh, number 3. What's A?
8.
Negative. Yeah.
B
Negative 4.
and C.
Negative 1.
All right. Now we just like we did on our warm-ups. That's why we're doing those warm-ups. Not just to get your brain, but so that you have experience and this becomes easier after a while. So I have 16 minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 8. And actually, what I do, I'll let you go. That's what I do too. I don't even, at this point, I know what the answer is, but I don't even calculate it. Is 16 minus 32 a negative or positive answer?
Negative.
It's a negative answer. I don't even need to know what the answer is. It's negative, so how many real solutions do I have?
0.
0 solutions. JD, if you were to graph that, how many times would it cross the x-axis?
0.
No times, okay? I would suggest that you're writing some notes down so you know how we got these done. But all right, number 4. What is A?
1.
Careful.
Negative 1.
Yes, B
Negative 5.
and C.
6.
All right, so I'm going to go 25 minus 4 times A and B. All right. I'm not even going to calculate what 25 plus 24 even is. I only need to know if it's 0, positive, or negative. It is positive, so that is 2 solutions.
That's easy.
My goal is not to know what b squared minus 4ac is. It's just to know if it's negative, positive, or 0. Questions? All right, last one, number 5.
It's 1.
You say it's 1? I have 4 is A, B is negative 8, and C is 4. So I have B squared minus 4AC.
Yeah, that's 64.
64 minus 64, which is 0, which is no solutions.
One solution.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Okay, I know one solution.
One solution. All right. We have learned how to find the discriminant and how to find how many solutions there are. You had experience graphing them on your calculators, so you could actually see what they look like, and that was pretty cool. We are now finished.